Welcome to the Global Business Talk Show here on WABS 1170, brought to you by the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce, bringing you leaders and experts from across many industries because your business bottom line is crucial. Stay up to date with the show and community at HaitiDistrict.com.
As a member of the Haitian American Chamber of Commerce, your business and employees can enjoy a broad range of membership benefits and business services that we offer, such as networking, after hours and special events in South Florida and in Haiti. You can also participate in our weekly radio talk show for great opportunities to advertise and promote your business, receive member-to-member discount, as well as educational and mentorship opportunities. Contact us at 954-882-0571 or visit us online at www.HAAMCC.com. Good morning, and welcome to the Global Business Talk Show. For the past 19 years, Mr. Sandy McDonald has worked in community and economic development in both local and federal programs. His expertise includes initiating tax increment financing program, providing supportive economic development services to local municipalities, brownfield redevelopment, small, minority, and women-owned business development, and also creating, monitoring, and enforcing disadvantaged business enterprise opportunity. For the past 7 years, since 2013, he has been the director of the Broward County Office of Economic and Small Business Development, also known as the OESBD. I am very honored to have you as part of the show today. I want to acknowledge your commitment to supporting the growth and development of small business in Broward County, which is a great asset to our local economy. Thank you so much for being here with us today. How are you?
I'm good, and thank you for inviting me and having me on the Global Business Talk Show. I really appreciate you extending the invitation to us. Thank you.
It's important for our Caribbean community to know what's going on in the county. We always bring them the information, and we know that they subscribe to your newsletter or technical assistance workshop. So tell us, what does the OESBD do for their value? What is it that you do as a director?
Thank you, and that's a very good question. So real simple, this is the Office of Economic and Small Business Development. So on behalf of the county, which is 31 cities, over 1.9 million residents, over 74,000 businesses in Broward County, and we all sit here in 1,300 square miles. This office works to try to make sure that the businesses we have here are successful. We try to attract new business, try to take care and make sure existing businesses grow, and we even do that in our international markets because we work with our engines like the Port, Aviation, and the Convention and Visitors Bureau. But one of the key things this office does that I'm responsible for, we work to assure that whatever the county buys, and Broward County buys a lot. We don't buy everything, but we buy a lot. We try to make sure at least 25% of what the county buys, we buy from small businesses right here in Broward. So we have a small business program that has an ordinance, which is a law that says, hey, if the county is procuring, if the county is buying $1 billion in goods, materials, and services each year, we have to try extremely hard to make sure at least 25% or $250 million is spent with small businesses right here in Broward County. So we have a certification program to teach small businesses about what the county buys. Then, if eligible, get that small business certified. Then teach that small business how to do business with the county. Then review projects of things the county wants to buy so we can place that at least 25% goal so our small businesses can bid on those projects. So that's what we do. We really try to make sure that if you are a business and you're in Broward, and if Broward buys the good material, service, or product that you provide, you should consider if eligible being a certified small business. That's who we are, and that's mostly what we do.
And I realize that your office encompasses not only doing the economic development and international trade, you are pushing and promoting the small business development, but you also work very hard on community relations and outreach, because back in the days, some odd 20 years ago when I just moved to Broward County, it felt as if everything was centralized in Fort Lauderdale, because that's probably where we were having all the meetings and that's where the central government was. But under your leadership, you made sure that you are in Miramar, you are almost everywhere in the county. Am I correct?
Yes. By design. We got to recognize, those stats, that information I gave early. If we really 31 cities, then I can't sit here and say I'm an Office of Economic Development and Small Business, and everything I do, you got to come to me. So the truth is, if I got 31 cities, I need to be in 31 cities. If I got specific areas where small businesses are not participating as much or as often as we would like, I need to be in those areas. So you're right. We've made a conscious effort over the last 7 years to start doing more workshops in the communities where we want to attract more business participation and get more small businesses interested in working with the county. So thanks for noticing that, but it's truly something that was intentional. We have to get out of the office now. To your point, we're doing a lot of this virtual and conference call these days because of COVID, and this is probably going to go on a little while longer. But even when this goes on, we still are going to be partnering with our city, with our business organizations, with our for-profit and nonprofits, and our radio and our print partners like you to make sure our message gets out, but more importantly, that it gets to the population who needs to hear that there's real small business opportunity.
Wow. Keeping the taxpayers' dollars in Broward County to boost the local economy. And you spoke about the contract, the contracts, the certifications, and I know there's also what they call the local vendor preferences. Can you touch a little on that?
Yes. The ideal is that we tell folks it's about 3 P's: program, process, and people. And the first P in terms of program is understand that the county has this ordinance for a small business program. And this ordinance says, okay, when the county buys something, we want at least 25% to be spent with small businesses. But the county also can reserve to simply say, okay, on these contracts, let's reserve it all just for small businesses. Don't give to the big boys. And then the contract can say, okay, we have a small item, $250,000 or less. Let's reserve that for the smallest of the small businesses to help them not only learn government procurement, but help them to recognize how they could advance themselves by bidding only against small businesses like them. So we have a SBE Sheltered Market Program, we have a CBE Gold Program, and we have a CBE Reserve Program. All are ways to assure that small businesses can participate and grow through county procurement. So we want to make sure that we not only get them engaged, but then we develop them to help them understand how to be successful. Now, we never promise that any of our small businesses will win a contract, but we guarantee you, if you work with us, if you allow us to assist you in your development, if you allow us to expose you to the opportunities, you can be competitive as a small business in the county's procurement. And we don't have enough small businesses now. I got less than 720 certified small businesses. I really would love to have about 3,000, not for the sake of just having 3,000, but if I got 3,000, I need 70% participating in the process and at least 50% every year winning. This is about small businesses winning and making money. So our overall mission is to find ways to not only engage and involve small businesses in county procurement, but to help them be successful where they can, to your point, grow the economy, keep the money local. They're businesses. They already pay taxes. They already have residents who work for them. They also get paid. They pay their rent. They go to the grocery store. They go to entertainment. We need to put more money in the pockets of our businesses in our community so the businesses in our community can put more in to the community. So you're right. We want to grow the economy by making sure businesses in our community can participate and also grow their business. That's correct.
When it comes to community outreach, I would give your office an A++, because I remember back in the days when they were doing the Fort Lauderdale International Airport expansion, you went out to the community saying, Broward County has money. We want to buy your goods and your service. Same thing when it came to the convention center that was going into some changes. And now you are bringing to us, to the community, this grant that you have, $35 million available through the Broward CARES Act. Tell us what you're going to do and who you're going to give that money to, because I was very surprised that you split it not only with the nonprofit as well as the profit. As I often tell people, even if you have the exemption of a nonprofit, you need to run your business as if it's a profit. It's just that you don't keep the excess income. So tell us about the $35 million.
So we recognize that the county businesses are being challenged. Businesses across the state and the country are being challenged due to this COVID. Businesses were told to close. Businesses were told not to receive customers. Individuals were told to stay home. All of this, in addition to the health crisis, certainly caused a major concern for our economy and businesses. And again, one thing that we need to mention, I mentioned earlier that there's 74,000 plus businesses in Broward County. Most folks don't know that 89% of that 74,000 are 20 employees or less small businesses. Our businesses are truly small businesses. 89% of the businesses in Broward County have 20 employees or less. So because of that and because of COVID, the federal government did make money available. Our state got some of the money. The state divided that amongst the 67 counties in the state of Florida. Broward received funds, and from some of those funds, we've decided to carve some out to make available to small businesses. They're doing a lot of different things with these funds, but for us specifically, we're going to take $25 million for small businesses, $10 million for nonprofits, and as of this upcoming Monday, on Monday, November the 9th, our application portal open. Right now, as well as before, you can go to my website and you can read all the eligibility criteria. You will know what's not eligible. You can see all the necessary documents you're going to need to upload. You can even see the questions that are going to be asked on the application once you go to the portal on November the 9th. You get to see all that in advance. And even if you need additional assistance after that, you can even schedule free technical assistance where someone can speak to you for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, or as much as 90 minutes to walk you through the process. The key is, or the essential part is, we want to make sure small businesses have access to some funding. So on the nonprofit side as well as the small business side, we're going to be giving out grants of $5,000, $10,000, and $15,000 to eligible small businesses and eligible non-for-profits based on priorities. We first want to take a look at small businesses who got no federal funds. We know you may have got some in August and that money's gone and you probably need more now. So we're going to try to get to you, but right now the priority has to be the small businesses who've got no funds, small businesses whose revenues were less than $1 million, small businesses whose employees are 20 or less, small businesses who are in some of the poorest communities in Broward. We call those the Prosperity Broward zip codes. But we're doing all of that because we want to make sure that we can offer some assistance to these businesses. And we get it. It's not enough. We get it. It's not enough for everyone. But as a county, we too believe we have to start somewhere. So we're doing that for our small businesses, and we're doing the same with our nonprofit businesses. And again, we're starting this with $5,000, $10,000, and $15,000 grants, and that portal to submit your application will be open this Monday, November the 9th, starting at 8 o'clock. But someone right now, someone this past weekend, someone last week could have went to my website and saw all the questions and all the information you need to know. And as of today, even if they had extra questions, they can schedule on my website technical assistance where someone will walk them through everything they need to know before they ever go to the portal on November the 9th to submit an application.
And that technical assistance is going to be a one-on-one. It's not like there's going to be two or more people, so they will have time to explain what their issues are and what they need to know for their personal business.
Good question and good comment. One-on-one, because that's the point. Someone might say, well, thank you, Mr. McDonald. I went to your website. I saw your video. I saw the questions. I saw the documents. I read all the information, and I only got one question. That person can go to that website, schedule technical assistance, set that meeting up, and ask that one question. Or that person can go to that website, schedule that technical assistance, and ask 3 or 4 questions. Or that person can decide, though I read it, I really would like somebody to walk me through it. That person can go to the website, schedule that technical assistance for an hour to 90 minutes, and they'll walk you through every single question and every document that's needed. Yes, these are one-on-one virtual or phone conference sessions that'll happen between the applicant and my technical assistance providers.
That was so amazing that the technical assistance was available to people, to business owners, way prior to the portal opening. And I know for a fact, because the Chamber is 8 years old and you've been at the county for 7 years, not only when there are opportunities like that, you offer to share with the community that it's coming, but you help them with learning how to place their bid, what to do when they're done with their certification, being a vendor, how to enter an RFP. So it's continuous education and outreach with you, and I want to give you kudos. The other thing that I want to give you kudos to, you mentioned earlier that you partner with all the municipality, all the 31 municipalities in Broward County, but you also work with an organization like Prosperity Broward, and you mentioned the Prosperity Broward Disadvantage zip code. How did those numbers come about? How were you able to determine that those zip codes are in desperate need of either more education or more money?
Well, at the end of the day, we use some of the same federal guidelines. Before COVID, Broward was one of the most strongest communities in terms of the lowest unemployment, not only in the state, but throughout the country. We were doing a good job. However, we were honest. We also knew there were pockets of our community that were still underserved, undereducated, less job opportunities. So we were hovering around the 3.2 to 3.5 with one of the lowest unemployment. We knew pockets of our community, some still had 9, 11, 15% unemployment. So when we used the federal program, Community Development Block Grant, they have a formula that helps determine what those area median incomes are. So some of our poorest communities in Broward are 33023, 33069, 33309, 33311, 33313, and 33319. So taking the federal formula and understanding what those low, median area incomes are, house incomes are, what those educational levels are, we now, to your point, call these communities our Prosperity Broward zip codes. And again, as a county, we're responsible for everyone in every city and every zip code, but we're going to continue to do our job for everyone, but intentionally, we're going to put extra emphasis on these zip codes. So from an educational, from a community development, from a residential, from a professional, from a business, from a health, we have all our county community partners all committed to doing whatever we can extra for these zip codes. So when we decided that we were going to do these small business grants and nonprofit grants, once again, priority will go to businesses and nonprofits in those zip codes. So that's why we're using them. By the census tract data, these are some of the poorest communities in our county, and we want to uplift those communities similar to what we do with our other communities.
Perfect. You've talked about priority, and from what I gathered during our conversation, priority will be giving to those zip codes. Priority will be giving to people who have business with an annual revenue of less than $1 million. Priority will be giving to people who have not previously received funding assistance from the SBA, the EIDL, or the Paycheck Protection Program. But that doesn't mean that they don't have to apply. It's just that the priority will be giving to those people, and you try to help everybody else. Now, the good question is.
There you go, and I'm glad you said it that way. Again, we know we don't have unlimited funds, so no. We probably will not be given to businesses whose revenues are like, $20 million, $10 million. So we're telling folks at $1 million or $5 or less, we're interested. But the priority is going to be $1 million or under. We're telling folks we're looking for people who had no PPP and no EIDL, but we will be taking a look at people who got $15,000 or less of those funds. So you're right. On our website, it explains all the eligible criteria for everybody who should apply, and then it lists what the priorities are. And all of that's on our website.
Now, the county will be responsible for the management of the grant application process, the final awards approval, and the disbursement. Now, when somebody applies on the 9th or throughout the week, how soon would they get those funds?
So we're hoping that these are going to be 21 days or less. We're hoping that because we got to move. We got to get this money spent by the end of December. And with that being the case, the portal opens up on the 9th intentionally, and it's going to close 1 week later because we got all this head start. We're preparing people, and at the end of the day, we want folks to be ready. So if I tell you the portal opens on the 9th, don't wait till the 15th to fill out the application. Get your technical assistance now. Get your questions answered now. When that portal opens up on Monday the 9th, go submit your application. The reason we wanted this 1 week turnaround is we want to address the priority communities, and we want to take a look, as you alluded to earlier. If I have a chance with extra money to open it up to a wider population, we want to do that too. But I can't wait 2 to 3 weeks to get to that point, because 3 weeks from now, I'll be in December. So we're just trying to make sure that we can educate people in advance, and based on educating them in advance, get them to sign up on that 9th, 10th, or 11th. Let us review those applications. Let us take those who are eligible with a successful application. Let us start getting those monies to those folks. But let me get to the 16th and close this portal to take a look at the priorities and the others and how much money is remaining so we can make an immediate decision about keeping going.
Mr. Sandy McDonald, you have been so helpful, so clear, and I do understand why people enjoy your workshop when you're the one leading them, but I know you cannot be everywhere. It's important that you follow the process, and earlier you mentioned the 3 P's. Now, through education, they know ahead of time that the portal will be open. You encourage them to go and apply. You told them that the money is available. And in my Caribbean community, sometimes people say, well, the county say that they have money. Well, yes, the county has money, but you still need to go through the process. Mr. Sandy McDonald is not the one who awards it, so it goes through a process, and there's no guarantee that once they apply that they would get that money, because they still have to go through the process, and those funds are being administered by the county.
And that is correct. And again, the county is going to be held responsible and accountable. So we want folks to ask the questions. We want folks to go to the website. We want folks to submit applications if you're eligible. We want folks to get the grants, and we also want and need our small businesses who are fortunate enough to get one of these grants to be accountable and responsible. These are federal funds. They will be audited. They must be used for the eligible uses, as well as the county has to have a real process to make sure we're screening who gets it. So I'm sorry, it's not free money. I hate that term, but it's not free money. But it's money that's being made available to support businesses who are struggling because of some of the things that was not the fault of their own. We understand that.
Mr. McDonald, I must tell you that I miss seeing you in May. Usually, it's always a pleasure for me to be part of the Broward Business and Beyond. And I remember once you are so creative and innovative, the way that you present those awards and those workshops. You also have a great team. And I remember they had a contest, 3 minutes elevator speech, and this woman was able to get tons of money in order for her to invest in her business. And we want folks to understand that the legwork needs to be done. They need to attend those virtual workshops. They need to subscribe to your newsletter. They need to take advantage of the technical assistance. They need to apply, even if they're not sure whether or not they will be awarded this grant money. And when it comes to FITC, you always there with some awesome workshop. I wish you good health. I wish you to be safe and continue the awesome work that you are doing in Broward County to make sure that we stay on top. When it comes to Broward County, we have the #1 seaport, refrigerated cargo. You are #1 in the as a U.S. gateway for trade in Latin America. Your office is amazing.
And again, as you said, with partners like yourself and others, and with my staff and other team members here in the county, we can do quite a bit to not only stay on top, but to make sure everyone rises with us. That is one of the commissions about this Prosperity Broward. As a commission, as an office, we don't want to leave anyone behind. We really want to be inclusive and give everyone the opportunity who not only is deserving, but those who want it. So thanks for having us, and thanks for sharing this information. And again, I really do miss you and the participation and the partnership that you offer the county to sharing this information on a regular basis. So thank you again. If I haven't had a chance to say it publicly, I'm saying it now, that you really are a part of not only the team, but assuring that Broward does what Broward says, and that's a good thing.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. Sandy McDonald from the Broward Office of Economic Development. It was a pleasure having you. Thank you.
Thank you.
You've been listening to the Global Business Talk Show. Remember to tune in next week for more guests, interviews, information about businesses, and beyond.